So it's the beginning of a new year and new phones are being launched, and the newest addition to the market right now is the Infinix Note Edge. Let's first unbox it. So now from the name of the phone, you can see that this phone is in the Note series. However, they've not had an Edge on the Note series before. They mostly usually go by Note 50 Pro, Note 40 Pro and all that. So now I'm really interested to see how they go with this Note series this year, but I know for sure that there's going to be a Note 60 later on this year, just because they have to release the Pro versions of these phones. Now in this video, it's just going to be an unboxing and a first time impressions video, and also mentioning the new features on this device. Then I'm going to be doing a full review later on during the month, or maybe in February. So looking at the design, this is how the back looks. The back is textured with this cloth filling. Then you can see this camera bump here, which looks kind of similar to the one on the iPhone 17 Pro. Then we have a dual camera setup, and they've also introduced this small thing called the halo lighting, which lights up when you have notifications, phone calls, etc. Then in terms of design, this phone is actually slim and light. It's at 7.2 millimeters and weighs about 190 grams. Then from the front, you can see that it has a 3D curved display with thin bezels which enable that edge-to-edge display. And the display is looking really sharp at 1.5K resolution, and it can go to a peak brightness of 4500 nits. Then looking at the sides of the phone, you can see there's an extra button right here, which they call the one tap button. And this basically works like the action button on the iPhone, where you can customize it to do something like open the camera, access the AI features, mute the phone. In the full review, I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Then at the top, you can see that the speakers are tuned by JBL, and you can see there are dual speakers, which is good. There's also an IR blaster for those who need it. And this phone also supports NFC. Now, one cool way that they're actually using this NFC is that they've introduced a feature where you can transfer photos from this phone to the iPhone wirelessly just using NFC. So I've just set up the phone. I'm really yet to try it out, so stay tuned for the review, but I'm really excited to see how this works efficiently, because whenever you're trying to transfer phones from the Android to iPhone wirelessly, it's usually so hectic. Then still on design, you can see that this is the seal green version, and they actually have a variety of options. They have the Stellar Blue, Shadow Black and Lunar Titanium. So a lot to choose from, but what I'm not sure is how the texture on the other colors are. So I feel like you have to see it in person for you to decide. Now, when I was setting up this phone, I noticed that they actually offer Kiswahili as a system language, which was the first time I've seen that in a phone. So this phone sells really well here in the Kenyan market, and I'm glad that they are now taking effort to make it even more convenient for the Kenyan person. The phone also runs on Android 16 and XOS 16 with Infinix AI, and these AI features include things like call assistant and so much more, which we're going to cover in the full review. Now, moving on to performance, this phone is actually the first phone to be powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7100 5G chipset, and so that in itself already is good because you can see that it supports 5G, and hopefully the rest of the Note series follows the same path. Then it is paired with 8GB of RAM expandable by 8GB with 256GB of storage. And by the way, this phone costs around 33,000 Kenya shillings. So another thing I forgot to mention, when you're using this phone, the edges are curved at around 43.5 degrees, which makes it really comfortable when you're holding the phone. Now, there are also some new features on this phone that Infinix have integrated for the first time. As I already mentioned to you, the iPhone transfer feature for the photos. And then if you go to the photos, it now supports live photos, and it's the first time Infinix are doing this. So if you don't know what a live photo, this is what one looks like. I personally don't use this feature at all, even on the iPhone, but for those people who love this feature, now it's here and you can enjoy it. Then they've also introduced a two-way AI noise cancelling when you're on phone calls, and you'll have to wait for the full review for you to see how that works. Now, another huge upgrade to this device is the battery life. This phone, as much as it is this slim, it has a 6150 mAh battery. That's really impressive, and I can't wait to see how that performs. Already, I remember from the 5500 mAh batteries, those are already good. So I'm really curious to see how this performs and how many hours of screen on time I get on this. Now, in terms of durability, the IP rating on this device is IP65, and the glass used on the screen is Gorilla Glass 7i, which for 33,000 Kenya shillings is actually really good. Then the fingerprint sensor is actually in display and not side mounted. And in terms of the camera, it has a 50 megapixel main camera and a 13 megapixel selfie camera. And the back camera records videos up to 2K, 30 FPS. Then in terms of charging, as you saw in the box, it comes with a 45 watts power brick. It supports reverse wired charging at 10 watts and also supports bypass charging, which is good for the gamers. So that's kind of it about this phone. I actually have almost every other phone from the previous Note series, so I'm actually going to be doing comparisons with those phones, and within a few weeks I'm also going to be doing a full review on this device. Be sure to check out my TikTok and Instagram channels, and especially on Instagram because I'm really active on IG stories and I really love interacting with you guys. But otherwise, for now, if you have any questions regarding this device, be sure to leave it in the comment section and I'll be sure to cover that in the upcoming videos. Otherwise, that's it. My name is Duncanzz Tech Tips. See you in the next one.